The day that could have been the last day of my life, I was busy. I was preoccupied. I was working too much. I was working in a really highly stressful job, thinking about client meetings, conference calls. And you know, when I had that day a calendar in front of me, and it was full, back to back, no space, a part of a 10 minutes gap that I found. And then I thought, great, that's the moment I'm going to take the most and enjoy the most. And I left the office determined to have a sandwich. That's what I could have in 10 minutes of my time. So I left the office to have this sandwich that could have been the last meal of my life, walking fast, head down, still worried about the project that I had to finish for the meeting that was coming up, when someone up there sent me a message that changed my life completely. Bang! The message was a 3 kilograms brick that accidentally dropped by someone on the 4th floor of a building site and smashed just here, 30 centimeters from my head. I stopped, luckily. I stopped and realized that I wouldn't want that day to be the last one. So I turned around, I went back to the office, and I quit my job. That's the calculation I've made. The premeditation of death is the premeditation of liberty, said once Montaigne. He didn't say it to me, by the way. So I had this time on my hands after quitting a job that I used to sell 8 hours, give away another 4 every day, and I have like 12 hours just for me every day. And it's funny how time works. When you have too little, we are stressed, and when you have too much, we are lost. So I planned, and I planned my day, my week, my months, and I realized that actually I would be becoming a rich man if that saying, time is money, is true. I was actually a millionaire, and I decided actually to waste. No, I think every millionaire would waste, and I would like, I wasn't going to waste my time then. Then I took my phone, and I was there. You know, I realized this yesterday night that you do this with money, but actually you do with time as well. You're scrolling down other people's photographs. And while you're scrolling, I realized that actually, that's why I realized that actually we spend half a second in each photo that we see, in average. That's not an accurate number, so don't take notes because I think I don't guarantee that it's going to be correct. But actually, that's the average that I imagine people scroll down, no? Like half a second. In 5 minutes, you can see almost 600 photos. As I had a lot of time, plenty of time on my hands, I said, what about if I spend a little bit more? I think it's not correct, this calculation. 60, right? No, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a mathematician. This is not the point that I want to make here. What I want to make is like, by respecting your own clock, by letting your brain to settle, and by allowing us to have the ideas to flourish. No, I think that's what I want to say. Like by giving 5 seconds instead of half, I allowed things to happen, and something actually unexpected and extraordinary happened once I gave a little bit more time. I saw something, and I saw something behind the obvious. A vision that I had. I saw actually something I saw a hidden story. Thank you. I'm joking. No. Would be great, no? You pay and see 3 minutes talk. No, actually, then it starts. And then that's the moment that it started the talk. Everything before was a bit like just to warm up. And then what I realized, like I like drawing, and I saw this hidden story, and I said, why not bring it to life through illustration? And by having this time, I realized that the image was a bit further than this. Like I could give a bit more, and then give a bit more time to this guy that created this photo, for example. And I started bringing them to life, illustrating them, and I started with my own pictures, and I did with friends and family, and I decided I'm going to post it. And I posted on my account, and people liked it. And I said, I was a bit more confidence, encouraged by a glass of wine, and I said, I'm going to invade now a stranger. Quite dangerous. I thought like, okay, I did the illustration, I posted them, and I waited. And I waited a few hours, imagining that perhaps someone will knock the door and, hey, Mr. Levitan, this is the Metropolitan Police, and you are under arrest by stealing other people's photograph on Instagram. And didn't happen this, luckily, and the answer came later. A few hours later, the answer came, and it was written like this. Heart, heart, thumbs up, and the smiley face with the 2 tears. And I know how to read emoji, and I thought, it's good then. So with a bit more confidence, I decided, let's keep going. And then I created this project called the Photo Invasion. I just wrapped it in some way that I could actually feel that it was something, some coherence happening. And this project was an exercise of finding it's an exercise of finding stories on other people's photographs. We are so used to post and expect just one answer, like a like or a comment. And I think this one is open a conversation, a dialogue, a creative dialogue between 2 creators. No? The photographer, that doesn't need to be a photographer. I think every picture has a story behind. I was invading ordinary pictures. I wouldn't say ordinary, but from everyday life, as well from photographers, and I was just creating this kind of a world that allowing actually to have, allowing to bring it to life and merging 2 passions that I had. One was photography, another one illustration. And this kind of unexpected partnership, I think was quite welcome by the community that I was creating around this project. I didn't receive any complaint by the photographer. Actually, the other side, the people start asking me to be invaded. And then I create the hashtag, I want to be invaded. And have like plenty of people asking, I want to be invaded. No? And it was quite nice to see how we are willing to actually do a little bit more than just post. We were willing to interact. And in this kind of fast-paced society that we live, and we produce too much, and we consume a lot, and we accumulate, you know, how many pictures we take a day, and we just drop in this kind of huge deposit of memories, that if we don't go there back, it becomes like a graveyard of people history. And I had another number. I don't know. I had another number that is quite important now. Is like 60 million photos are uploaded daily, just on Instagram. And I had this dream of invading all of them. But imagine, like, if the people scroll like this, I made another calculation. If people scroll like this, and giving half a second per picture, you need the entire year. Is there any mathematician here that can help me with this number later? No? But the entire year, non-sleep, non-stop, just scrolling down to be able to see 60 million photos. Then my idea was to go a step further and then create the Photo Invasion Army. The Photo Invasion Army was an idea of creating this creative army that people could help me to achieve this dream, to actually find different stories in everyone's picture. It was a way actually to teach kids and adults and people who are interested to see how we can see beyond. Or more than this, I think it's about giving a bit consideration of what the pictures that people take in every day. It's a bit more giving the patience to see beyond. And it's about giving time, care to the photos. And then this photo invasion army that I was creating, it was quite fun to go around and teach with kids, adults, and I've been in Spain, in Brazil, in UK, and even in Taiwan, just getting those. I think the army is already 500 people that we are just, I hope they are doing their job, because it's a lot of job ahead. And just to see, just to give a bit more time. And I think if we give a bit more time to photography, actually, we start seeing things, but not just photography. I think it's photo invasion is a bit of an invitation to see things with a bit more conscious. Stories that are there to be discovered can be, stories are there to be discovered online, in your city, and even in ourselves. I was luckier than Aeschylus, when actually he died after being hit by a turtle, dropped by an eagle. When he was walking, the eagle mistook him from a rock, I think. And I survived. and I decided to draw more and try to give a bit more time to see things around me in my way, to give a bit more attention and see things in a different perspective. And by doing it, I found more than just stories on other people's photographs. I found actually my own story. Thank you. Thank you.